You know, my Knights, I almost want to do like a Charlemagne type thing with this, you know, where it's like Donkey of the Day, right? Except, you know, I disagree with Charlemagne on a lot of things and think he often deserves Donkey of the Day. You know, Breakfast Club stuff, but, you know, I can kind of get behind the idea.
Heavy is the hand that wears the crown.
But speaking of stuff like that, of people who would be metaphorically on that list of mine of Donkey of the Day, we have Grace over here. That's right, Grace from Beyond the Trailers, a lovely channel. I love Grace. I love her. Usually, I can get behind a lot of her movie reviews, a lot of her reactions to like news trailers, stuff that comes out, her movie math, some of my favorite stuff from her. So I was watching her video, right? This is, of course, you know, everybody. This is, you know, the 2019 award season, right? All the movies of 2018 are going out there. You know, they got the Golden Globes, the Oscars, everything is coming up. It's gonna be like, yay! So everybody's doing their top 10 best movies, you know, and all that. You know, what's their favorites list? And so I was watching Grace videos, and I had two disagreements, but I'll be focusing mainly on her number one movie of the top 10 list, and basically her arguments behind that. So, but I guess I'll discuss a little bit of her other one here, so don't call me a racist, but it's the two main black movies that she has on her list here, and this is for the top 10 best. Now, I believe the first one was Green Book, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's the first one she racially mentions, and she does go on a bit of Stupidville by like, oh, this should bring the middle of the country together and stuff like that. And if you've seen the trailer, right, Grace brings up a lot of the points that most people would bring up about how, ooh, a lot of this racism shit affects people today.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
No, it doesn't, Grace. You need to stop. And I'm kind of sick. It was my same problem with the Klansman. I don't care if it's based off a true story, and I don't care what time period it's focused in, because you're trying to apply it like the way that she did. See, that's how you know that the movie propaganda is working. Because she is applying it to, it still has some relevancy today, which is how they're marketing the movie. I don't care if it takes place back in the day. I don't care if it's a true story that happened back in the day. Leave that shit back where it belongs. Back in the day, guess what happened back there in the day? When stuff was bad, when there was that large amounts of discrimination. And I saw it from the trailer, the way they were talking and stuff like that. You could just tell they're trying to hit you with a little bit of like, hey, wake up, you shitlords who voted for Donald Trump. You're the problem, right? You're the bad guys.
If you vote for Trump, you're the bad guy. And
Grace kind of falls into the trap on that one. And she had the audacity to say, because she points out the middle of the country. As we all know, that's a big center talking point about the main people who really rally behind Trump. You know, the working man, you know, the little guy. Who's not racist, who's not bigoted, as the way Grace tries to paint them.
As exciting a film as these final choices.
That's all, folks.
But anyway, this is, you know, Green Book is a feel-good movie, but
You serious?
that's the kind of feel-good movie that actually reaches the people, particularly in the middle of the country here in the United States, that need to be reached by this sort of movie.
And that's not even the one I want to talk about, but she had the audacity to say that, yeah, this is a movie that'll definitely help reach the middle of the country. I'm like, fuck no. And I love how she points out that it's doing terribly right now, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder why.
Because the thing's a real clunker from a business perspective.
I wonder why. Because people are tired, right, of seeing stuff. I mean, she brings it up as a point herself when it goes to the real one I want to talk about how we're sick and tired of seeing all these racism and slavery movies, right? Every time it's a black movie, it's about thugs, slavery, racism, and overcoming adversity, and how about all white people are just bad and evil, and, you know, Trump and all them is just bad, evil, and oh my god, cops are trying to kill black people, and yay.
Not only does Green Book deal with race issues, and many of the scenes in the film are tragically still relevant today. In fact, the third act confrontation in Alabama, I don't want to give too much away, but it definitely brought Colin Kaepernick to mind.
You know, people are kind of sick of that nonsense. But Grace kind of falls into the trap, but she also kind of contradicts herself. However, she's still a smart lady. The problem is, I can sit here and go all day with giving you the facts of life, right? I can sit there and tell you about, you know, being 13% of the population and making up over 50% of the most violent crime in here, right? Disproportionately outranking, and pretty much all crime stats disproportionately outrate the number of people that we are here in. The self-inflicting harm among the black community. The fact that literally I'm more likely, as a black guy, to be killed by another black guy than I am a white person or even a police officer. I can go and spit fact after fact after fact to you all day, but that won't change your mind. That won't really change anything. And people like to bring this up all the time. We love Dr. King. We love speaking about him. We have a whole day dedicated to celebrating his birthday. You know, he's pretty much the biggest guy when it comes to Black History Month. Yet we don't really look at his most famous words about judging somebody on the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. And Dr. King has problems. He was not a perfect guy, but those are definitely words and a model to live by. So before you go sit there and say, oh, Grace was completely right, you know, you're just fucking asshole, you're racist, and all that, oh, you're in the sunken place, fine, say what you will. I guess I'll just say I'm voicing my opinion, right? And you can hate that, or you can hate me when I'm spitting facts to you, you can hate me for my opinion, that's fine, I really don't care. And that was my biggest problem with that one. But again, I'm not even gonna see Green Book. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm sick and tired of that ideology behind the political messaging of constantly keeping everyone chained into their minds that this is still the fucking 1960s, right? That this is still 1840, right? This is still the time where black people in this country were facing heavy discrimination from the opposition of people who happen to be a different skin color than us. And this isn't to say that racism doesn't exist today. In fact, it does. And the real biggest type of racism comes from the soft bigotry of low expectations, right? All these fucking people who sit there and spout out this nonsense to you about, oh, you ain't never gonna achieve nothing because of the white man. Oh, you ain't never gonna do nothing. And then it makes you not want to do anything, right? The minute that you speak out, the minute that you even just have, you know, I guess we're calling it the Kanye moment now, where you become a free thinker, where you just say, hey, I'm not going against you, but I'm just doing a walk away. You guys become way too political. I want to be able to have free thought. They tell you you're in a fucking sunken place. You're a race traitor and all that. And you're like, what? What does that even mean? What does that mean? But anyway, on to my number one, which kind of coincides back to these points, and I kind of really got all out what I really want to say, but it was the whole Black Panther thing. And again, it more so that offended me than even the audacity to say that this would really mean the middle of the country. I talking about, you know, Trump supporters. She really has the gall to say the reason why Black Panther, she could think of no other reason, but she has the goal to mention this as a legitimate reason, that basically the reason why Black Panther would be number one is not pointing out all the factors of what makes it a fantastically great movie. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm watching the video as it goes on, and so I know people are going to try to come and say, well, actually she does, she loves what's under things, but the fact that she really started off and really kind of just went on the idea that it's because of representation.
A big part of Black Panther is
Representation.
No, it's not a good movie for any other reason, right? You couldn't find none other reason than literally people being black in it, and I guess a country that's not predominantly black. You think that is what makes this a good movie.
This is so important here. Not just, and representation, not just for the black community, but for the continent of Africa.
Because there's had a whole bunch of black people. I'm like, by that logic, let me go to Africa. Let's go to Africa, where you have a bunch of white men in an African movie, where it's majority white, right? And if you want to add on with the whole facing discrimination, facing a government that, you know, hates you and wants to promote racism against you, Africa definitely qualifies. So representation for the good old white man down in Africa who does not make the majority of the country. Majority is black. So by that logic, any movie with just a predominant amount of white men, or, you know, white men and women, don't want to come off as too sexist, okay? White men and women, it's suddenly a great movie. It doesn't matter the context or whatever. It doesn't matter any of that. I mean, because that's what she's going on to talk about here. About the, because, you know, I'm so sick of, that's what I'm talking about. She points out the whole, I'm so sick of all these movies talking about slavery and stuff like that, and all this movies talking about discrimination. She points out how the movie still has it, and Killmonger, and then she tries to say that's what really makes him a good villain.
See, the thing is, for too long, the black conversation has been focused on slavery, having to overcome constant obstacles, discrimination, and that's a very important discussion to be sure.
Stop it. Get some help.
That's represented in Black Panther by the character of Killmonger, an incredibly popular character, I think, because of what he taps into, that rage, that anger, that the unjustness of it.
You want to go there? No, his politics are stupid. Right? He's pretty much probably one of the worst things about that movie. The only reason why I even say that people would look at him as a good villain is other than Michael B. just being a phenomenal actor. Like, dude really sells it. Despite being a phenomenal actor, like Thanos, he has at least an ideology that you could somewhat get behind, that's somewhat more grounded in some semblance of realism. I mean, again, Thanos' whole thing was,
Resources.
not Black Panthers, Killmonger's was,
Discrimination.
so you're like, okay, that's fair enough. I mean, it's better than the other villains had. I mean, fucking Ronan and them, you know, a bunch of space warlords and all those guys, fucking Ultron, there ain't no strings on me. I mean, they had nothing. The reason why those villains are good, the reason why Thanos and them are good, despite their ideologies being shit, is because they're not as bad. They actually have character, unlike the other villains. Seriously. All the other villains are just so astronomically awful that they didn't really have much competition to begin with. So, I mean, but that's my opinion. I'm not trying to come off cross as that's fact. And yes, I have a right to state my opinion that contradicts her opinion because I feel that her opinion is wrong on this one. But my point is, right, the overarching point here, and I'll kind of finish up this video, is that it's stupid. No, representation does not make this movie good. No, that's ideological. That's not a point that would make this movie good. Right, what would make this movie good would be a lot of stuff that she talked about, like with the other superhero movie on her list, Aquaman. It was like stylistically it's great, right? It's you know, all the visuals is beautiful, and she was talking about the the filming type of devices and stuff that were used, how, you know, amazing stuff they were. That's what would make a great movie, right?
Oh boy! Aquaman is a modern filmmaking masterpiece. As I said in my review, a visual and audio symphony and the most beautiful film ever made. Move over, Pandora! And this is actually a movie most people can get behind. Although, of course, you can't say that about Avatar. It made so much freaking money. But Aquaman shows that in the right hands, VFX can be used just as artistically as any other tool in a director's arsenal. I mean, obviously, the VFX in Avatar were also very good, but they didn't have the artistic flourish that Aquaman's do.
Now, what makes a great movie is, still kind of entirely subjective, but talking about stuff more along the lines of that, about the movie itself, the production of the movie, right, the aesthetic of the movie, incorporating all the actions and the political messages can be a part of that. However, it is never a solely good thing to have a superficial trait be the crux of your argument to why something is good or not, right? Okay, just having black people doesn't make a good movie. Boys in the Hood was not a good movie because it was a predominantly black cast, right? These are just superficial traits, right? They are applied to a group of characters within the movie, right? Just like you having a vagina, right? You being a woman. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about Grace in a bad light because I really do like her. And I know this may come across as insulting, but I don't want to insult her. Like, I'm not trying to be insulting, is what I'm saying. But the fact that you're a woman doesn't make you a good reviewer, right? Doesn't make you a good interviewer, Grace, right? Just because you have a vagina, it doesn't make you naturally good at these things, right? You're not born with a vagina and suddenly it makes you good at these things. You're not born with black skin like me, and it suddenly makes you, and anything you're represented in as a good movie. This has nothing to do with representation, right? Because this doesn't even represent. Here I am, the audience that I'm actually supposed to represent, right? I'm the black audience that you're talking about, and it doesn't represent me because there are differences, right? And I don't think Grace is a racist or anything like that. For somebody trying to say, are you calling her racist or anything like that? No, I'm not trying to call her racist. I'm just saying the way she speaks about this would be the whole idea of a collective of lumping in. It's like all black people are the same. We're not. Now again, she does go on to kind of like try to explain this a little bit more, but it just gets more and more, caught down the slippery slope of not really being all too up to snuff. Yeah, kind of something put out there, but it's kind of like but basically, yeah, it's like my explanation for why I'm so, careful with my words here. Even though I've rambled and I stumbled over some stuff, but I'm trying to be as careful as possible. Because again, I don't want to come off as if I'm insulting her, or calling her stupid or whatever. And my big like about her, other than her work and stuff like that, because I think she's very attractive and all that, does come into play. So all the things are trying to be a little bit more careful. Right, I don't really care that her fans are going to come over here and berate my video and say, you're wrong, and here's an article from CNN that proves you're wrong. Black people face all the discrimination. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I got you. I don't really care, that's going to happen. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Grace, you're absolutely amazing. Keep doing the work you're doing. And you guys, don't hate on me for this video. I'm just saying, we have a disagreement. Hopefully I was able to eloquently label out all my points and not sound like a complete and utter doofus the entire time. Because again, especially when you talk about somebody who you kind of have like a little bit more of a bias towards, expressing the idea that, we got to have a little bit more of a bias towards expressing the idea that, you have a certain like for them. I mean, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to kind of like go in on them. So hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully I didn't sound like completely crazy. Or like I was, really insulting her or even trying to call her racist. I'm not thinking like that. I'm not saying that she thinks like that. It's just that we disagree on this. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Gifted just for being humans, we are absolute predators. We do not even have any enemies. Maybe there's an animal that's watching us, thinking that someday we will be them.
Also, this is post-edit. Another thing that I did want to discuss was, now, she kind of like, again, contradicts herself a little bit here, but the whole idea of kind of like that Black Panther paints Africa as in a good light or as a good nation.
But at the same time, Black Panther, it's very much like a transition movie because Black Panther also puts the focus of the black discussion to the future. Wakanda is that same shining city on a hill that America was founded to be.
When it's literally a fictional creation of two fucking white guys. So it really wouldn't be a good representation of Africa, because I don't think that the people who created Black Panther had ever been to Africa when they created Black Panther. So I think it's more like an infantilized version, considering again, Wakanda is a fictional city in Africa. I mean, one of the points that even Killmonger brings up in the movie is that due to their isolationism, right, they're well off than the rest of Africa, let alone other blacks in the world. So it's kind of weird, but don't worry, I won't hold it against her too much because she did come back and not really correct us or walk it back, but more so just say that she did recognize that Wakanda is a fictional city.
Now, of course, Wakanda is a fictional country,
Which is why I say it's kind of like contradiction, but anyway, this is really me leaving out. Bye.
but as an idea, it is very, very real.
That's horseshit!
And as I said when the movie opened and I reviewed it, this is the most important black piece of entertainment since its roots.
You serious?
It's really, you're experiencing a moment. It's amazing. That's why it's Best Picture material. Again, are you starting to understand the Best Picture argument a little bit better now?
A few moments later.
Yo, all you sucker MCs ain't got nothing on me. My grades and my lines, you can't touch Kevin G. I'm a mathlete, a nerd isn't first, but forget what you heard. I'm like James Bond the Third. Shaking, not stirred, I'm Kevin the Poor. G silent when I sneak in your door. Make love to your woman on the bathroom floor. I don't play it like Shaggy, you'll know it was me. Cause the next time you see her, she'll be like, Kevin G.